And welcome to Tayominireads Reviews discusses monologues about everything and anything, and that's on period. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. So, in the spirit of end of year, we are about to get into 2026. I wanted to talk about some of the best C-dramas that I have watched in 2025. I did watch a lot of them. I actually need to put a tally and and like count how many C dramas did I watch this year. I watched quite a few. I actually favor watching C dramas over K dramas, and when I release my next video, which will be some of the best K dramas that I watched in 2025, you will see a vast difference. I used to love K dramas, but I don't know, along the way they lost me. But anyways, that's not what this is about. This is about the best TV shows that I watched this year. That were Chinese shows, and we're gonna get into it. There is a lot of ground to cover, so stick with me, okay? So let's get started. The first one will be Our Generation, which is by Zhao Jinmai and Zhang Linghe. The Zhao Jinmai and Zhang Linghe. So we are following Lin Yitao and Zhang Xiaoxi. This is 24 episodes. It's on Netflix, it's on Youku, and it's on Viki. We follow this group of kids. There's about 5 or 6 of them, like a friend group that they all grew up in this town, so they were all best friends, and we kind of follow them through, when they were little, kindergarten, college, high school, college, blah, 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 and, now as adults. Basically, the main conflict in the story is Cherry and Jiaxi, where they were kind of by the time they become teenagers, like they're in high school, they kind of know that they like each other, but then due to manipulations of this boy's family, they lose touch, and you kind of spend a lot of time where Cherry is just by herself trying to figure out where this boy has vanished to, pretty much. It wasn't, that's why I'm talking about this, right? I mean, I liked the story, but there were obviously a couple of drawbacks in that Lin Yitao was a bit too obsessive. Yeah, let's not be like that. She was quite obsessed. But I think a lot of people did mention that, this is based on a book, and in the book a couple of things were cut out that we did not see in the story, and this, it makes sense why she's this obsessed with the boy, but they cut it out. And so we don't get that effect. You just see someone that's like boy crazy. But it was still a good watch. I enjoyed it, and I felt like they did phenomenal. Both Zhao Jinmai and Zhang Linghe. So the next one that I'm going to talk about is The Bloom in Love, which is by Vincent Zhao and Sun Jenny. So this is on Viki and Rakuten, and it's 40 episodes, pretty long. So when I first, this came out like maybe January or February, super early in the year. And at first, like the first maybe 3 to 4 episodes, you're just like, ugh, this is another dud. Like, what is going on? But this was actually a really, really good show. Like, it's time travel, but done in such a way that wasn't confusing. And I was like, whoa! It gave me like what's the name of that show? No, not a show, like a movie. It gave me that feeling where, oh my god, I need to remember this movie. It's the one that has Washington's, what's his name? Isaiah Washington. I don't know. I'll put it up if I remember. But Inception. Ooh, it's like Inception, right? Where it's like mind and the mind and the mind, and you don't even see it coming. That's how good The Blooming Love was. Like a lot of things that happen in like the early episodes, we see the reason why, and we're just like. In fact, that whole show is like one big time loop. I need to go back and rewatch it because a couple of things were lost on me, but still, it was such a good show. Like, I really, really enjoyed watching this. It was so early in the year too, so I haven't really heard a lot of people talking about it. But when it did come out, it was really good. It was fantastic. So the next couple of shows I'm going to talk about are Flourished, Peony, and In the Name of Blossom. And I have my notes, that's why I'm looking now. But this one came out this year. So this is actually a very surprising one. Flourished Peony came out super early in the year. I think it came out the same time as The Bloom in Love. And this is by Yang Zi and Li Shan. And it was the first one was 32 episodes, and In the Name of Blossom, which is like the part two, was on 24 episodes. So technically, if there wasn't this law against, releasing long shows, like 50, 60 episode shows, we would have gotten what, 56 episodes at a go, but they split this up. So Flourish Peony stops at episode 32. Then they release another show like 6 months down the line, In the Name of Blossom. Literally, they changed the name, but it's literally just picks up from where it stopped in Flourish Peony. But apart from the weird way of I would say thank you, because we get it all in one year. Sometimes some of these shows, when they split it, you don't get it until the next year. So this was great that we started and finished this year. Yang Zi and Li Shan have worked together. They were both in Go-Go Squid. So this was a really good one because you could see the chemistry between them. It was so natural. It was so natural. They were so relaxed. And I think they did so well. It was so believable. Nothing so crazy about this story. It's not something that's brand new. It's been done, but I think it was more, propelled by Yang Zi and Li Shan, and just the fact that they've worked together before, and you could just tell how good their chemistry was. The next one will be Prisoner of Beauty, which came out mid-year 2025. Prisoner of Beauty is on Netflix, and it's also on Viki. It's 36 episodes. We follow Man Man and Jolene, who are played by Song Do-ah and Leo Yuning. Song Do-ah was on she was having some issues, so this was probably her first official drama after her tax evasion stuff. And so she did excellent. I've watched her in so many other shows before this one, so I'm not she's not she's a pretty familiar author actress to me. In this one is more like a family revenge story where we follow these two families that have like a blood revenge pact. Like they hate each other violently. But I think before I think there's other issues that have come up, and so they realize that they have to have like a union between the two families. And so Man Man marries John Lean, and obviously he doesn't trust her from the beginning, and also his family doesn't trust her from the beginning, but she proves herself worthy, and they have such great chemistry. It was such a phenomenal watch. I think this was also one of the first ones where the female character, Song Do-ah, she was not invincible. And it's in a good way. There's some shows where they write it as if the female lead is like the best thing since sliced bread. But this one, she made mistakes, and you could see her learning from the mistakes that she made. She was supposed to be a strategist, but there were some times where strategies failed her, So I like that. It made her more down to earth and not like an unbelievable character that just knows it all. And then at some particular point, they're just like weak and like, ooh, So I think that was one of the things that made this such a good show, and such a great drama. Now, the next one will be Legend of the Female General, Herian, and Xiao Zhe. So we followed Zhao Ye and Ryan Chen. I do have to say that Zhao Ye, she really surprised me. I did not think that she could pull off this show. Basically, we followed this girl who was forced to disguise as a guy from when she was little, and then it's a whole, I don't want to say a lot, but basically we have this cross-dressing female general who joins an army trying to clear her name and make a name for herself, pretty much. She falls in love with the other general that she's known from when she was younger. They both trained together. And this is my first time watching Ryan Chang, and I have to say it was so good. It was so good. He was so convincing an actor, and every time she would just come and be like, Dodo, I'm like, this girl, like, it was so good. It was so good. So, like I said, it's on Tencent, it's on iQIYI, it's on Viki. It's 36 episodes, and it was really, really, it was a good watch. It was a good watch. It's not, there's no magic in it. Same like Prisoner of Beauty, same like Flourished, Peony. No magic or, you know, super models. This is just regular people. So those kind of shows tend to lose interest for me because this is just, you know, people being people. But for even just not being like shows about magic or power or any of that, they were still really, really good shows. I would definitely recommend. Now, on to one of my, I think this one was one of my best. Okay, one of my best not modern drama. This will be my best, and I'll talk about the one that's modern that was my best. And this will be When Destiny Brings Demon by Wang Yinlo and Arthur Chen. So we're following Tinyan and Sima Zhao. Basically, there's this clan called the Sima clan who their blood is so precious, and people like basically and what it imprison them to take advantage of the abilities that their blood have, to the point of drink, like it really gets really depraved at some point. But then we follow this girl who transmigrated from the modern world to this fantasy world, and she just literally was plop bloop, right in the middle. This show it wasn't something that I thought I would like, but I have watched Arthur Chen a lot in Lighter and Princess, so I was really eager to watch this because I loved his acting in that show. And so when Destiny Brings Demon was really good. I don't like the ending though. I didn't like the ending because obviously, and this is why I try not to really watch transmigration stories, because you already know from the beginning that these people probably will not be meant to be or something like that. Saying this is reminding me of Yummy Yummy Yummy. I'll get to that. But so I don't really like watching these kind of shows because I'm not sure the ending will be satisfying no matter what. Like, you make them go through all these hoops, but we know at the end of the day, like, transmigration stories don't end well or don't end to, the satisfaction of the people. So after everything they go through, they basically go through 3 lives in this, fantasy setup world, and then they go out into the modern world, and there's this encounter for like 5 seconds. So watch it at your own risk. Again, the first it's 33 episodes, so let's say the first 32 episodes are good. The last one, don't bother. Don't, like, it doesn't take away any enjoyment. The story is still good. This is on Viki, Yoku, and Netflix. Like I said, it's 33 episodes. Before I do my top 2 shows that I watched in 2025, I'm going to do some honorable mentions. That will be Yummy Yummy Yummy, which is at the time I'm filming this, I think just finished airing, and I have finished it. I think this one did a better job of the transmigration story because this also follows the same as When Destiny Brings Demon. Whereas in this one, it's not just one person, it's literally a whole family that is, they move from like the modern world into the, old world, and, everything is so different. But I think here we get a bit more face time with our characters, 2 characters, and I really, really enjoyed it. Fun fact, it's the same female character. That's Wan Yilo that starred in When Destiny Brings a Demon. She's also the same female lead in Yummy Yummy Yummy. Also, what's with the name? I don't get it. But apart from that, Yummy Yummy was so funny, and that was something I wasn't expecting. It was really funny. Like, there were annoying parts, but it was super funny. So it's a fantastic watch. I think it's like 32 or 33 episodes, and it's on Viki. So, and probably maybe Yoku or Tencent, I'm not sure. Love Never Fails. Okay, so this one came out super early in the year, maybe Feb or January. And this was by Liu Shuiyi and Hu Yixuan, Honin and Jinsho, which so this was trying to be something like a, eternal love, or maybe like Ashes of Love, kind of like a setup, because Jinsho is like the head of the flower immortal kind of thing, and we're dealing with species of flowers basically, and obviously they go through three different lives, again like Ashes of Love, and it's kind of like Shan Chan powered kind of show. So it wasn't it wasn't the best, but it's an honorable mention. I watched it, I loved it, I closed my eyes to certain things that were probably not done well. But again, you can't have it all. You have to pick a struggle. And I think the chemistry between Honin and Jinsho was really nice. Also, this Honin, that's Hu Yishan, she has done a modern show before. So I was super excited to see her in this show, and she nailed it. She was so fantastic from when she was, a naive immortal with no like understanding, and you could see the growth by the time we get to the third life. And I liked it. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I really did like it. It's on Viki, and I think it's on Aichi, and it's 40 episodes. Last one will be Love in the Clouds. This one is still a TBD if I like it. I have not finished watching it. I'm taking my time, but I know that a lot of people are loving it, so we'll have to come back on this one. But the last two ones that I want to talk about, the best shows that I watched in 2025. And, at first it was the first one, and then another one came out, and then that kind of like, let me just say it. So, first one is The First Frost by Jao Ronan and by Jensen. This is a sequel to Hidden Love, which came out a couple of years back, where we had Luce and John Jashu. I forgot his real name. But The First Frost was really good. And I have to say that I have noticed a trend where Netflix is actually bringing shows that people love. Like, they can see the star power. They can see like, oh, this show is really good, and they're bringing it on YouTube on Netflix. Because normally I would just watch this on Viki, right? But it wasn't even on Viki. It was just on Yoku and Netflix. This is 28 episodes. The First Frost follows these two when you find Sanyan. And I have done a detailed review on this show. Like, it's very, very precious to me. And, we follow them when they were younger. Something happens. We see that they're separated. So this is like a second chance love. I think it's done phenomenally. It's a modern day story, so there's no magic or anything like that. But I think the actors, they just had so much depth, and it was phenomenal. It was fantastic. I really, really loved this show. Like I said, it's on Netflix, it's on Yoku. You can watch it anytime. The last one, which before before I watched this, First Frost was literally my top show of 2025. But then Love's Ambition. Do I need to say more? Oh my God. So this is Lusa and William Chan, where she's Shuyan and Shan Homin. And we follow this couple where Shuyan is a girl who has not been loved by her parents. And so she meets this dude, she falls in love, but obviously he's from a rich home. And so she's like, I'm going to like pretend my parents are like fantastic people, blah, blah, blah. So it's a whole like fake marriage kind of thing where she thought like she was marrying him for real, but he knew she was a fraud from the start. But he needed to marry her because of some XYZ reason. Yeah, it's a lot. But again, the plot is not something that's new, but what made this top is, first of all, Lucy, like she crushed it. She did, like, it was 5-star. Her acting was phenomenal. Same with William Chan. I've watched him in that show with Yang Min where he was like her teacher. Ugh, the it was something about pearls. I forget the name. And I didn't like him. He was too stiff. But in this one, oh my God, he was laughing. He was drunk. He was like, there is nothing this dude did not do in the show. Like, I was like, how is someone able to break, you know how sometimes you're doing something, you're so stiff, but he was like so free in this role. I loved it. It was so much fun. And one thing is, you just never knew what was going to happen. Like everything seemed like, okay, yeah, this is nothing was predictable in Love's Ambition. It was one of my top shows because it was funny, it was romantic, it was beautifully done. I mean, yeah, no. It was good. No, I'm not wearing. It was good. It was good. It was the best. It was the best. It was the best. So this one is 32 episodes. It's on Viki and Tencent. Just to wrap this all up, I do have to say that most of the shows had really good OSTs. Especially First Frost had really good OSTs. Same with Love's Ambition. So moving, so touching. I think they really, really went all out trying to make sure that they had such soothing and impactful songs to go with the shows. Um, yeah, I think they all did. I don't know which ones. Yeah, they all did. So yeah, let me know any shows that you watched in 2025 that you really liked, or that were just like, nah, it was just not there. Don't forget, I'm going to do a second video right after for my best K-dramas that I've watched in 2025. But thank you for sticking around to the end. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, bye.